The thing about you is that it's you. It's you that people are going to gravitate to. As long as you're passionate about it, you did your research, it's going to be your it factor and what you bring to the table that people are going to love. So you don't like that your skin is too whatever, you're not the size that you see most people on TV, it doesn't matter, because those are actually going to be the things that set you apart. So just go for it. What's the worst thing someone can say? No?
Right.
I eat no for breakfast.
And that's LaShawn Kenley, who we spoke with about race, shape, self-love, fashion, and what it means to truly be a goddess, with her original bohemian Afro-chic lifestyle brand, Sun Gods. Next up on Hustle and Grind. But first, a little more on us.
Hi, I'm Joy. I'm a model turned talent agency owner.
And I'm Jacques Martini. I'm a filmmaker who moved his family to a farm so he could build a studio in a barn. We met on set several years ago and have continued our friendship and partnering on cool projects.
One of the things I learned as an entrepreneur is it can feel lonely. We want to show you a space where you might be the one to share your story and inspire the next upcoming entrepreneur.
Hi you guys, so my name is LaShawn Kenley. I am the founder and CEO of Sun Gods. Sun Gods is a bohemian Afro-chic lifestyle and women's apparel brand located here in Washington, D.C.
All right. So awesome, LaShawn. Tell us, who are your customers and how did you find this market fit for your awesome work, which I saw online is beautiful. I think you're wearing some of it as well.
Yes, this is one of our
awesome
statement pieces, our dusters. So our customers are just various Black and brown women. I call them goddesses. I feel like they live within their own right. There's this air and element about them, about all of us, that I want to exude. I want everyone to see.
Where did you come from before all of this?
Yeah, so it kind of started, I come from a family of makers, right? So everybody, I've always seen entrepreneurship, business owners within my immediate family. So like my mother, she always liked to knit. My father is a personal trainer / police officer. I wanted to really kind of dive into my own. Where would be my space within it, right? And that didn't start off as a fashion designer. It started off me wanting to model and liking to model. I kind of fibbed a little bit right there. I didn't always like to model. Let me be honest, because I was like,
I feel like there's a story here that we got to get to in a second.
I was like, I had to be pushed into it. Like people were always like, model, model, model. And I was like, I'm smart. I have a lot to prove.
Right.
But yeah, it kind of started with modeling and led into that.
I think there's something to segue there. You started to touch on it, and it's this kind of, this thing that we all know of stereotyping or thinking just someone because they're beautiful or because they're Black, they're this and that.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit. It sounds like one of the things that's really neat is that you have made part of your business something that you believe in and empowering. You hit it a little bit, hit it more. Tell us more why that makes you feel good when you get up in the morning.
I want people to feel, Black and brown women, all women, to feel like when they wear my clothing, when they wear Sun Gods, like they feel like a goddess, like they feel like a queen, like your spirits are already lifted. And just when you're talking to women, because not only do we do ready to wear, but we also do custom designs for them as well. So when you're talking to them and we're having these fittings, that's when all these things come out in regards to like, oh, they start to immediately like explain certain things away. And I'm like, you don't have to put on for me. Like, you don't have to tell me any of these things, like in regards to like, oh, this is because I need to lose weight here or do this here. And I'm like, I don't care about none of that. Like, and you just make them feel better about who they are.
The key is just getting the clothes made to fit your body.
Yeah.
And then
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Buy clothes to fit your body. Don't try to fit your body into the clothes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everything's not meant for everybody. Put on what you feel good in, So it's all mental, it's psychological.
So let's paint this picture.
Okay.
So one day you woke up, you come from a family that are entrepreneurs and doing things, and you're like, all right, this is what I want to do. I want to get into this bohemian Afro-chic designs, but how did you even think to get these fabrics and to get them? I know about these fabrics. I know what it takes to go and get these fabrics, and to get the authentic ones, because there's a lot of knockoff ones
that are there.
So tell me how you did that. How did you get the funding for that?
Yes, I wanted African Americans to feel connected to the different countries that they come from, right? All extending from the continent of Africa. So I was like, how do I pull this together and still keep that chic goddess essence of things, right? Once I got the color palette and the type of prints that I wanted to target, mud cloths and all of those type of things, that is where I started to look into different countries of where I want to go. And I had a mentor at the time that I, sent the idea to of what I wanted to do. And she had this, I think she had family members who worked with other people in different souks, because you have to go to souks and that's what their markets are. You're not going to a store, right? You're going to literally artisans in these places and deep diving into these like thousands of miles of fabric and pulling that back here. So that's how I started my journey.
Now, were you did you know how to sew before you became a designer? Like, what was that journey for you?
During college, literally, because throughout, like I said, it's like a privileged thing to be told, you're pretty, you should model, you're pretty, you should model, you're pretty, you should model, right? And then it goes through I went through my rebellion phase of like, I'm not going to be a model. I'm going to show you how smart I am. So that's where the whole I'm going to show you how smart I am thing comes from. But then as I went into college, I had a really good friend whose aunt, mind you, I already told you, like my mom used to knit, my grandmother, different aunts, all of them do that. So the knitting side for like interior design was always there. But like to actually sew with a sewing machine and get your juki and get your brothers and your singers, right? That came from a friend in college. So during college, literally freshman year, I literally started to hang with this girl. Her name is Kazuzi. And Kazuzi's aunt was a Lagos Nigerian.
Girl, you were practically
seamstress. And I would literally go to her home and learn how to do shirts, dresses, like just starting off with the basics. And the very first day, she was like, your lines are good. And I was just like, yes. I will never forget that. That like was everything to me, because like she's like, you're a natural, your lines are good. And I was like, this is my path.
That's awesome.
What would you say to that girl in the audience that maybe says, oh man, I'm shy, or I'm too black, I'm too heavy, I'm too whatever, I can't, but I have this idea. What do you say to her to get out there and do her idea to become an entrepreneur?
The thing about you is that it's you, right? It's you that people are going to gravitate to. And the idea, as long as you're passionate about it, you did your research, like it's going to be your it factor and what you bring to the table that people are going to love. So you don't like that your skin is too whatever, you're not the size that you see most people on TV, it doesn't matter, because those are actually going to be the things that set you apart. So just go for it. What's the worst thing someone can say? No?
Right.
I eat no for breakfast.
Right.
That's what
yes. I eat no for breakfast.
Kamala said she eats no for breakfast, so we now all eat no for breakfast.
Right.
Yeah, and that's so inspiring. I mean, find out who you are and love who you are and go for that. To me, that speaks so much to all of us. It speaks to me.
Yeah.
I just love that.
But Jeff, you've always led by example, though. I mean, from the first time I met you and being on set, your crew has always been diverse. You've always been, and what I admire most about you is you've never separated yourself like, I'm the boss, I'm the big guy here. You have opened doors for so many people, and so it's always been a comfort. So when I've sent my models on set with you, I'm like, you're gonna love him, his crew is gonna be great. So that's the kind of leadership that needs to come down, especially from the quote unquote white privileged male, like you're
too kind.
I'm telling the truth.
I was taught right. Yeah. I mean, my mother, my father taught me to treat others the way you're supposed to be treated, and that's the de facto bottom line.
You take it and you say it like it's like matter of fact, but as you can see in this world, it's not so matter of fact. No, so you had awesome parents to teach you that.
I do, and then you learn things in life. You have, I'm blessed to have friends of all backgrounds throughout my whole life, so that has helped. But I am certainly, as I get older, I see that I have blind spots. I am human. Yeah. And that's the thing that I think we as a country, we're going to get together. If we all give each other grace, we cannot say it's okay to kneel on someone's neck. There's things that we have to say no to 100%, of course. But there are some shades of gray in the way we talk, and some of the words we use, they're not the right ones. We got to help each other.
Yeah.
So I believe that very firmly. But I am learning still, and so you're so kind to say that. But we have great people. You know, you learn, you get humbled all the time on set. You think, here I am in my late 40s now. I know it all. I know, you know, Belrie, Jeff, all these people are showing me things that I don't know about the camera anymore. You know, for a while I thought I knew it all. I don't. So I get humbled enough.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm lucky to have good people around me. That's what'll make, I think, the show really good. I think because of the good people around us, and you having the grace to come on our show and share. Let's get into the future. What's the future of your company? And
yeah, so I definitely want to take it into a more traveling type of component. And within that, I want to take it a step further of not just me sourcing fabrics with my team, but also let's show the culture of these places that we're going to and the music and all of that, because that's what creates the design process.
What I love, I mean, I'm Nigerian.
Yes.
And so your fabrics speak to me because it's from my region, you know? And what I think has been so beautiful is the embracing of African fabrics and styles into the American mainstream culture, but more importantly, the Black mainstream culture, because not to get all deep into things, but
we about to get deep.
We about to get deep, okay? It's, I think, one of the biggest disservices of slavery was that it took away our roots, our culture, our foundation.
Inheritance, all of that.
Yeah, so when I see our fabrics being worn by other people, I remember, and this is so awful for me to say, but growing up, coming to this country, you know, I was raised to separate myself from Black Americans, right? And you know that, like that's the
Black Americans do the same.
So I grew up with that mentality, but of course I got older and I was like, wait a minute, no, I can't do that. So I used to remember thinking, why are they wearing our stuff? Like you were appropriating our culture, you know? But now I'm like, no, they should be wearing our stuff because that's where you're from. You know, at the core of it, even if you may not know exactly what country, but you are African. And so seeing that uptick, do you feel like with the new uptick, and I hate to say it because now it's becoming a little bit of a trend, you know? Do you see that in business, like the change?
Yeah, I do see that. I love it and I hate it at the same time. I love it because this is why I started Sun Gods. For African Americans to be connected to the areas of where they originate from. So when a Belizean in America is like, you got this fabric from Belize, automatically you feel connected to your culture, you know? So I think those things are empowering. I don't like it necessarily when I see large enterprises incorporating African prints into their clothing because one, I know it's not authentic. Two, a lot of the ways that they are getting it through labor laws is not okay. So the ethics behind it is not the best. So it's a slippery slope when it comes to that. But I love seeing African Americans in African garbs, African prints, or just things that uplift your culture because that culture was separated from you. So it's about bridging that gap to give you culture because when you know where you're from, you walk different, you talk different, and you're empowered. We
were taught racism in a very black and white, if it's not the right words to use, but you know what I'm saying. That's just this and that, and there's so much more to it. Look, that is something that I've been learning. But and I want to get now I'm peeling some layers too of my own self and my own biases. Growing up. When I moved to New York City and I was a teacher, one of the big like aha moments for me was when I had students from Bed-Stuy who were Black who were into goth. And I think, I didn't realize this, but because of the world and TV and UMTV Raps, I figured just unconsciously now that every Black kid from Bed-Stuy was a B-boy or B-girl.
I mean, it's our differences that makes us actually more similar than we think, right? So it's like, think of Jimi Hendrix. Like, come on, like he's, you know what I mean? So like,
absolutely.
Don't box people in. We gotta stop boxing people in because we are so
we're bigger than
dynamic. We're dynamic as human beings. What one person is like, I only want to listen to hip hop. Like, who is that person?
And we're
It's not in this world anymore.
It's not real.
Well, this has been fantastic, and we just hope that you're inspired, audience. There are people out there to support you. You just got to be ready to ask.
Yeah, that's been a key thing. Everyone's had to support, and so you got to look into it and trust that, you know, people believe in your dreams, your family, your husband, your spouse, your wife.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And things like that, just someone believing in you.
Yeah.
You just go far. You can go far.
I believe in you, girl.
I know you do.
do.
I know you do. I know you too.
Awesome. Well, that's it. Thank you for our show. Be well and see our next one when it comes out.
All right. Bye, guys. If you want to be a guest on our next show and you have a great story, check us out on thehustle.tv.
Don't forget to like us on the link below and subscribe.